Opportunistic macroalgae is a natural thing that we would find in our environments. We see green seaweed all over our coastline, but it is algae that will take advantage of excess nutrients in our environment. It will smother out the other plants and the other seaweed and the other animals that we have in those systems. So we need to think about how we can control the growth of that opportunistic macroalgae so that we can help those protected species like seagrass, like the little macroinvertebrates that we find in the sediments that support the birds that live in those areas that many people love to see there, so that we can help them to thrive in those areas and help that system to become healthy again.
So I'm Liz Humphreys and I'm the Natural England Project Manager for the Live WADER project. So what we're doing today is we're trying to actually tackle this issue of the physical presence of the macroalgae, as well as trying to reduce nutrients going into water that will feed the macroalgae and cause it to grow. We're also looking at whether we can actually harvest it. There's only one boat that we're aware of that can do this, and we happen to have contracted that boat today. It's not something that is regularly done. Algae is harvested quite often for freshwater environments, but not so much marine and coastal. And it's specially fitted out with a quite basic conveyor belt system at the back, which literally drags the algae up from the water onto the boat, into the sacks, and then we can whisk it away.
So this is a big partnership project. There's the universities, there's the Environment Agency, there's Tweed Forum. It's a source to sea project. And the Budle Bay within the Lindisfarne NNR is kind of like our research laboratory. We've got PhD students, we've got other postgraduate students. We've got this very tight window with the various protected birds which are leaving, nesting breeding birds, and before the overwintering birds come in. The algal species is responding to nutrients in the water. Too much nutrients. It's a pilot trial, we're figuring out what the crack is. Maybe in future years, with the lessons we learned from this survey, we might be doing this area on the North Shore. We've got 13 bags, approximately 200 kilos off yesterday, which was day one of our trial. And you can see on the boat, they're filling 2 ton sacks. So we may be taking in excess of 2 tons off today.
Wow.
In that tidal window.
The guys you can see in the background, they're having to help the algae get out of the water because it's entangled in lots of other things. So the algae can cause a problem here because it entangles itself with the seagrass, which is a very important habitat species, and it's also a carbon sink. So we're avoiding areas where we know there's seagrass. So before they start work for pulling it out, they've checked out the area, checked out what other species are around, and so that they can be sure they're pulling just the algae out. They're basically helping it out of the water onto the conveyor belt, into the bags, and then we'll take those bags back to shore. And then the next stage of the project will be to look at ways that we can use that and use the algae to benefit local economy.